Ora si registrerà la conferenza. Ora si registrerà la
Grazie,
conferenza.
grande con lo stesso.
Okay.
Good morning.
I ask everyone to please close the microphone in order to don't have return from noise. Thank you. And okay. I see that we have quite a lot of people today. And perfect. Today we are going to talk about the connected buildings. And I show you the agenda of today. We are sharing together the market trends of IoT, Internet of Things, home automation solution that we have available, the advantage of smart solutions, the smart and the new thermostat. We have after the colleague Marco Grimaldi that is connected with us that will talk about the system and how does it work and show the catalog. Marco, are you with us?
Yes, good morning to everybody.
Okay, fantastic. We do a comparison with wiring devices and the connected product. We show how easy is the configuration, and we have a few minutes later to talk to reply to your question. So before to start to show you the product, there is an important things to share and keep in mind. The market of the connected product, called IoT, it's quite wide and it's booming a lot because we have the data that are showing from 2018 to 2022 how much is growing. Okay, it's a forecast, but between 2018 and now we see that growth it's matching the forecast or even is better. The total turnover of connected product it grow 187%, so it's almost double. The average of a connected device per person it passed from almost 3 to almost 5, and the units connected in commercial buildings they become 3 times more. So we are talking about a market that is growing a lot. In this market there are deconnected switches, but as well camera connected, thermostat connected, or simple relay connected, because we are offering a complete environment. There are other companies that produce maybe a connected item that is single one, but in any case it's quite big. You see that the turnover of this market now is between 2018 and 2024, so in 7 years it seems that will be at least 200%. That it's a huge number. So we have to grow this, we have to run in this market, and BTicino and the Ground Group that is a pioneer in the home automation has a quite big portfolio in this. So what we have user experience enhanced by partnership alliances, because we can connect different products. We receive inquiry from Google, for example, to enter in Google Home, and our system is fully connected, and probably we'll repeat later, with Amazon Alexa, with Google Home, and with iPhone, so Siri and Apple system. OnKit is the name. Then we create the Elliot program. So Elliot program is the IoT environment for the Legrand group. So for BTicino, Elliot is IoT. So the first target we have is improve the end user experience. That is the key factor. So we need to give the wow effect to be able to grow in this market. So we give connected solution, interoperability, and sustainable and digital electrical infrastructure for buildings. So we already talked about Elliot. So you will see this logo over our catalog. You will see, for example, this logo as well over the Class 300X, our connected intercom unit. The benefits that the wiring device with Netatmo give is first, security, because you can control everything. I remind you that with the same application, you can use as well the Netatmo cameras. So that's why it's mainly included the security in the benefits. We have the comfort, controlling light, shutters, and the things you have connected in the house. Energy savings, because you can see the consumption of a socket or a circuit. We can create an alarm that in case, for example, the fridge increase drastically the consumption, it can give you an alarm. So it means you leave the fridge open or your fridge will start to have problem, and so you can control it. And then the nicest advantage is the voice control, because it's really nice to be able to control the things in the house using your telephone or the devices from these main companies. So we have a great opportunity in business. When I say great opportunity in business, we have to do always a comparison with standard wiring devices. Today, the market of the wiring devices is becoming more and more competitive. Margin is decreasing. You know, if you compare a standard switch with the cover, you know, the typical white switch with a white cover plate, you find always more competitor. And when you go to a project, there is always a demand to drop down the prices to be able to enter. So marginality is going down. And there is a little differentiation, because aesthetically between a white switch, if you take 10 different companies, you don't see a big difference. Then we can talk about the quality. That is something different. But when we talk aesthetically, there's not big differences. So putting again the end user at the center, we have to give first benefit to him. So we have to increase his experience and house. We have to give something new to use inside house that is not the switching on and off the light, walking till the switch. So design centered to him, because with the telephone he can control everything. And this is what today the customer they want, what we want. We are living with the telephone in hand for hours during the day. The first thing we do in the morning, we check the news, we check WhatsApp, we check the email. So why we cannot open the shutters with the telephone, just saying, I make an example, good morning, and is opening the shutters and doing something else. Or when we leave home saying, I'm leaving, like, hey Google, I'm leaving, and he's switching off the light, closing the shutters. That's really nice things. And is it? I don't understand. You say, sorry, my Google it hear me. So for the end user, there's just a little investment to do. That is the difference in cost of the items. That is very little. So the benefit of Smart with Netatmo are the same installation, so there's no difference for the contractor or the house builder when they have to install a connected system with Netatmo. We have a big opportunity, that is the turnover increase, because the same switch that we install connected, it costs more than the normal one, is giving added value. We have less competitor around, and we can increase the turnover. That is what every company today is struggling to do. And more marginality for all the chain, because giving a differentiation, we can have a better marginality. That is an important point to keep in mind when you go to promote a connected solution, a wiring device with Netatmo. So for house builder, become easier sell flats with home automation, because an end user that is going today to buy an apartment is checking what are the difference between one and the other one. Of course, maybe the square meter and the position, the location, it's the first choice. But after, if there is some option, give home automation today, it's a plus. So we have partners or company we know that thanks to our product, they are really want to continue to stay on this field, because they saw that it's becoming easier and faster to sell the flats. So it's a benefit for all the chain. So don't forget, is perfect as well for refurbishment. So an existing system, it can be upgraded with a little amount of money, because you can put only a few lights, or you can put everything, just replacing the devices, because it's one-to-one the change. We will see later how in installation the things are almost the same. It increases the value of the house, because you have user experience, and is attractive even for builders that are refurbishing the houses. So we have several features, because the end user can remote control from the telephone, create by himself scenarios, voice control, that I already stressed this point a lot, and planning programmed scenario. He can say every morning at 7, open the shutter, and he can do even more advanced scenario, putting some offset that will become available really soon, or probably are already available. Now, I hope that everyone know that we have home automation called My Home. So what are the difference between wiring devices with Netatmo and home automation? The home automation we have in catalog since quite long, it's of course dedicated for projects. When I say project, the perfect environment is the penthouse, the villas. It can be as well the flats, but it means it need to be anticipated, the project, because it need a bus cable, it need some additional space for the actuators, and So we have to start to work with my home system before the boxes and pipes and the wires are there. Otherwise, it's become more complicated. As well, with my home, we can do apartments with quite high integration. So the perfect target is medium and big houses. To install my home, we need a well-trained contractor, or a better is a system integrator, because it's bread and butter business. So we say for project, my home is a perfect solution. But, and as well in price, is a bit more expensive. But if we compare my home with wiring devices with Netatmo, we have traditional cabling. We don't need anything different than traditional cabling, or better. We need just to have the neutral to connect the switch. We are going to have as well the version without neutral for the German standard from September, but I warmly recommend to use the version with the neutral. So with your switch, you connect as well the neutral. So the neutral is almost everywhere, or is easy to add if it's a refurbishment. We have the core function. Of course, we cannot do extreme integration, but we can control really many things, and our environment, our portfolio is growing. It's growing and it's growing because we are adding feature, and we are adding things that can be controlled with the same app. So the perfect environment is the single apartment or small medium houses, but single apartment can be as well a building with 100 flats, and each flat can be installed the wiring device with Netatmo. And a good installer can install it very easily, very easily. It doesn't need a train, because it just can see a video how to configure if it doesn't want to read, and 10 minutes and the product, it works. So one key point, wiring devices with Netatmo that is based over ZigBee wireless protocol, that is worldwide alliance, it will not replace my home. That's an important point that I want to stress out. So we have wiring device with Netatmo for the flat, for buildings with many flats, for villas, penthouse, big project. Best solution is and will be my home. It's not needed a specialist in home automation for Netatmo. That is what it needs my home, and my home app as well. That is the application for my home. Just to show that my home, it's a core business for us, we have new devices that will be available beginning of 2021, probably even before, but let's say beginning of January 21. So my home can control almost everything. Now let's go to be focused over the wiring device with Netatmo. So what we have today is Living Now, the new premium range that we launched recently, available in 3 colors: matte black, matte white, matte sand. Living Light range, super successful range from BTicino in the 3 colors. So that's perfect for refurbishment, because an apartment that has Living Light, you can easily refurbish, putting the additional feature of the wiring device with Netatmo, sorry. And we are going to have as well Classia. The new standard segment will be updated with Netatmo. That will happen quite soon. We will see later. So, same technology, same rules, just different design between the ranges. The engines inside is exactly the same. Before to go in the wiring device with Netatmo, I would like to emphasize and remind everyone that we did a big upgrade to our smarter, that is the thermostat connected. Is flash mounted or wall mounted thermostat, available in 3 colors, black, sand, white, like living now. Is connected. This one can work alone. It doesn't need anything more. If you have wiring device with Netatmo, from the same application, you can control it. Can control as well the valve in the Netatmo catalog. We say application is the same one. It is on plus, and there's this logo that you see here, this house in the blue box. And the vocal assistant compatibility is with all: Alexa, Google, Apple, OnKit. That is the latest arrived Apple OnKit. It needs the power, so 230 volt connection. It works as well 110 from South America. If someone is connected from South America, it's important for him. We say we have the 3 colors and the wall mounting version. Aesthetically, is looking really nice. It matches or it fit the 3 module box as well the round box. The same product, because it doesn't need adapter. Has the possibility to install the frame over the round or the rectangular box. It's in case of new project, it's a fantastic solution because you can control all the zones. And it's a good idea to use this product to enter in the real estate, giving connected thermostat. So from the house, or even from outside, the end user can control it. This is a screenshot of the application that I keep remind you is the same one of wiring device with Netatmo. So on plus. You can create, of course, modify the weak program. You don't need anymore to go on the thermostat and do the programmation. That is the most complicated things possible. I saw a study done by university in US that one of the most complicated things in the house, it was program the thermostat. So what more easy to have an application that is helping you with the temperature, the hours. It's the easiest way to program the thermostat. It works with the assistants. We have example, typical Alexa, increase the living room temperature by 3 degrees or put 20 degrees in the bedroom. We already have the X8000 in catalog. This product is replacing the X8000. So the new part number is X color W, M or X, or G, the 3 colors, 8002. That's the new part number. For the wall mounted version, it's just having a W in the end. Product is available from April. I really recommend you to order one and test it and enjoy it. Best place, put in your house. Then let's see now with the help of Marco. Marco is Grimaldi. It's our colleague that it work inside marketing department. He is responsible for the connected products, so for the wiring devices with Netatmo, and he will show us the key feature of the product. One thing that I would like to show you in the while, because I want to show as well in reality, this is the connected two-way switch. If I take a regular switch, now I'm a bit close, okay, you can see that the size is exactly the same. There's no difference. Okay, this one has the automatic connector, but it doesn't change. The space is exactly the same. When it's inside the box, you have exactly the same. Okay, this is up and down, probably no. Yes, if I take this as a normal switch, you can see there's no differences. For who is going to install as well, the connector behind are exactly the same. So there's no differentiation. We have the center of everything that Marco now is going to show us, that is the gateway. Gateway is a two-module product. It just have neutral and phase. It connecting the system through the wireless, the Wi-Fi, and is the heart of the system. It's all together with the scenario control that is battery based. They are already paired together because you can see they have the same code. So when you buy it, they are already connected. This one is to create a two-main scenario. Then you can add something else. I let Marco goes on.
Good morning to everybody again. Simone have already anticipated most of the topics that we will see today. And I will try to go more in details and try to explain you why and how install our smart electrical system. Before to spoke about Simone, I lost the presentation.
Oh, sorry. Okay, tell me.
Okay, no, I see just the screen of the laptop, but not the presentation.
Okay, here we are.
Okay, perfect. So I say I will try to show you why and how install the electrical smart system. Before to go on and to show the details about the smart electrical system, I want to come back again about a topic already discussed by Simone. This is our first BTicino connecting wiring devices that we put on the market. But this offer not arrive alone, but arrive also with our product to improve the experience of the customer for a perfect smart home solution. So today we will see Living Light and Classic with Netatmo, that is our connected wiring devices, but we have also other offer. We have the connected video warranty system, so the Classic 300X and the Classic 100X. We have the Smarter, that is our connected thermostat. We arrive also the connected cabinet, and of course also the Netatmo product, that is company that we buy last year. And from this company, we will take also product for security, so like the camera or for the gas detector. So all this product together will create a better experience in terms of function and integration for the user. But let's now to see the focus on the Netatmo solution connecting wireless devices. Next, Simone. First, which is the function that we manage with our smart electrical system, are the main one of the house. So we have the lights, the shutter, and the energy. Next. What we introduce? The new experience is a new way to control the house. Instead to have the classic push button, we introduce a new smart home way to control the house. And we have, in particular, 4 ways to come back to the previous slide. Sorry, we have four ways to control the home: the scenario control, the physical switch, the voice, the smartphone, and the show schedule. Next, a philosophy of our smart electrical system is the simplicity. As we will see, the simplicity is for everything, for the installation, for the configuration, but also for the communication. So when we spoke with our customer, we never go in details about the technology. We don't speak about GB or Wi-Fi and so on, but we prefer to speak about the use case, the benefit. So what you can do with our solution, because it's so easy to install and use it that is not important the technology. It's important what you can do with our solution. Here I underline the main 7 use case, okay? But remember that we continue to improve our solution month by month, and we introduce new function. So just for example, we present in Italy this solution 1 year, 2 years ago, and during this last year we introduced 3 new functions. So remember that this is just the beginning, but we will continue to introduce new functions. Here I start to see which is the main use case, and so why install our solution. Next. Simone, next. The first use case, that is the most common, is the scenario command. With our solution, we have the possibility to manage up to 8 scenarios. 4 scenarios are pre-configured and are the most important one. And then we have other 4 scenarios that can be customized by the customer. All these scenarios can be activated in 3 ways. With the physical push button, here in the slide, you can see, for example, the push button for the scenario: I go out from the house, I come back, or I go to sleep and I wake up. And as you can see, the same scenario are in physical push button, and you can see also in the app. So also by the app, I can activate easily the scenario. And of course, it's possible also to do by voice. All the scenario can be managed by the end user. So the user using the app can enter inside, he can see all his house, so all the shutter of the light, and shows how to do. So for example, I can say when I enter in the home, open the shutter of the living room and switch off the light and so on. So as you can manage, it's possible to do everything. Second benefit is the voice. As you know, the voice control is the trend of the market today when we speak about IoT. So it's important to put it in our solution. I remember that when we speak about voice control, the first function that the people use is to listen music, but the second function is to control electrical devices, to control smart home. So on the market exist many different voice control. To permit to our customer to use what they want, we have all this, we are compatible with all the assistants. So we are compatible with Siri by Apple, with Alexa by Amazon, and with Google Assistant. Thanks to this, you can do what you want. For example, you could say, Siri, I arrive at home, and start the scenario whenever you arrive at home. Or you can say, Alexa, switch on the light at 20% for the dimming function and so on. You can do what you want with the voice. Another benefit is, of course, the app. Okay, the app is quite normally to have an app to control the house, but we work so much to have a very easy app. First things, the name. The name is Home Plus Control, and as Simone anticipated, will be our app for all the different products. So not only for the connected wiring devices, also for the thermostat, and the future also for other products. So will be the unique app for your house. Is available in Apple and Android store, and thanks to our cloud, permit to be in contact with the house when you are in the house and when you are outside. As I said before, the interface is one of the most important part. We work so much to a very, very easy intuitive application. Thanks to the application, what you can do? 5 things in particular. You can, of course, activate the scenario, the 8th scenario. You can enter and check the status of your house regarding the light, the shutter on the socket. You can check the temperature and modify the temperature of the single room of the house. You can check the consumption of the apartment and receive notification. Next. Wireless command. Wireless command is a very interesting solution that we introduce. All our electrical smart system have also the wireless version. So it means that in Living Light, Living Now, and Classia, we will have the wireless version for all the function. So we have a wireless switch for the light, for the shutter, and for the scenario. What you can do with this scenario, with the switch, you can do many things. Just 3 use cases, just understood. For example, you have installed a wireless switch. You can decide, for example, to remove the wireless switch and change the position because, for example, you change your room. Or, for example, you already do the installation and you forgot a switch to control a light or to control a switch or a shutter. You can add a wireless switch where you want, also on the glass. So you can do also some particular installation, not only on the wall, but also on the glass. You can put our wireless switch. Or, for example, you can easily add a connected socket. What you can do, you just substitute the socket, you put our connected socket, and then you associate our wireless switch to the socket. So, for example, if you use the socket to control a lamps, you can use the normal switch to control your lamps. So as you can understand, with the wireless switch, you can do what you want. You can transform the house and you can add switch when you want. Next.
Yeah, I would like to add just a simple example that is, in addition to what you say, that is really interesting. For example, if you have a bedroom and you need to have an old bedroom, refurbished, and you don't have a switch beside the bed, with the wireless switch is fantastic because you can put just beside the bed.
Exactly. And the same also, for example, if you install the shutter and you want to put also the command of the shutter on the side of the bed, you can do the same. So yes, exactly, it's very interesting. Other important use case is the energy management. With our connected socket, you can do switch on and switch off the load. The load that... Sento un eco. Simone, close the microphone. Okay. When you using our connected socket, you can do on and off of the load that is connected to our socket, but you can see also the consumption. The consumption is a very important function that the customer asks when we speak about smart home. And with our solution, you can do 2 things. The first is to see the consumption of all department and with the details that take year, months, or a day. And you can also see, for example, we can see in this slide a cake that show a forecast, an average consumption about the last month for all the device inside your house. So, for example, how many consumption for the light, how many consumption for the fridge, and so on. Next. Simone, next. Alarm notification. This is a very important point. Up to now, we have seen how the user remain in contact with the home, but to do something. This is the function that permits to the house to be in contact with you. So it means that if something happens in the house, the apartment call you and give you some feedback. Just for example, you go out, you forgot a light on. After some hour, the apartment call you and send you a message, you forgot the light in the kitchen switch on. So you can go in the app and switch off the light. Or for example, if you have some problem with the fridge and so on. Also on this part, we start with some alarm notification, and step by step we will improve this function with new alarm. Next. And the last is the action schedules. This function, I think that is very important because it's the first function that transforms the house in a real smart house. Up to now, we see how the customer control the house, but manually. So every time the customer using the voice, the switch, or the app manually have to do some action. The action schedules permit instead to the customer to create an action and start it at the set time. So just some example. I have the garden and I have the irrigation system. So I can create a scenario and say at 2 o'clock switch on the irrigation and at 3 o'clock switch off. Or for example, always in the garden, I can say not the hour, but I can speak about sunset or sunrise. I can say at the sunset, switch on all the light in the garden and switch off and sunrise. This is, for example, two examples. Or one very interesting is also the security application of this function. Try to create a presence simulation. So, for example, when I go on holiday, I can create a scenario during the week. For example, say during the end at sunset, at sunrise, open the shutter, close it in the sunset. During the day, switch on sunlight in order to create a kind of presence simulation and to have more security when you go on holiday, because the people think that you are inside the house. So as you can understand, with the action schedule, you can create what you want. Next, Simone. So up to now, I explained you why buy and install our solution. Now we have to understood how. But the first thing is to understood how is composed the offer. Just a few elements that compose the system. The first one that before Simone showed to you by the camera is the gateway. The gateway is the heart of the system and permit to all our connected devices to speak together and speak with the internet and with the app, with our cloud. So it's a Wi-Fi ZigBee solution. Then we have all our connected switch, so for light and shutter. Then we have our connected energy device. We have here two examples, the connected modules for the socket and the DIN meter that permit to read the consumption about all the apartment, and then the wireless switch for light and shutter, and the wireless switch for the scenario. And of course, the main important one is the app, the Home Plus Control app that will be used for this solution, but also for smarter and in the future also for other smart home solution from BTicino. Next. Simone before say that this smart electrical system is proposed on all the main BTicino range. So Living Now, Living Light, and Klassia. And it is proposed also for the two main architecture in the world. So we have a solution for the European architecture, German standard. Next, Simone. And here you can see all the European architecture offer. As you can see, we have a dedicated gateway for this kind of standard. and we have all the wiring devices, so the dimming switch, the shutter switch, the connected socket that are for the gang solution for the German standard. Gone. Next. And of course, we have the solution for the modular architecture, the Italian standard. In this case, in terms of function, next. In terms of function, in terms of offer, we have the same, but we have a different form factor. In this case, as you can see, we have the gateway, the wiring device, and the wireless switch, but the form factor is different. In this case, is a modular, and most of the product are one modules. For example, the two-way switch is one module, the dimmer switch is one module, so on. So we have all the function in all the range, and we have the right architecture for your country. Next. Until now, we have seen how it's easy to use the product and to understood which is the benefit. Now we will see how it's easy to install the system. This is, as Simone underlined before, the big difference respect to the traditional domotics smart home solution is that our solution is based on the classic cabling, the classic electrical cabling. Here, for example, we have a classic two-way switch installation. So we have the light with two-way switch to traditional two-way switch. I want to transform the system in a smart system. Very easy. I just need to substitute the first one with our connected two-way switch. I substitute, I cable it, and I add the neutral because it's a connected device, so I need that is always on. And it's finished. All the light becomes smart. So I can use the push button of the connected switch. I can use the push button, the traditional two-way switch to do on and off. And I have also introduced all the rest of the smart control, voice, app, and so on. Next.
Yeah, I would like to add a simple reason why there is the neutral, because today one of the most problematic things that we see is the bulb. Due to the LEDs, that's why we sort out the problems thanks to the neutral. So that's the reason why the neutral is so important.
Yeah, just underline, in the European standard, we will have both. We will have the switch with neutral and without the neutral. As Simone say, with the neutral, we guarantee the 100% of the partial functionality. There is the version also without the neutral. In this case, there are sometimes the 5% cases you can have some problem of ghost effect on the light. So my suggestion is to use the neutral one, but of course we have also both. So you can choose what you want.
Yes, and this mainly for the dimmers, because if we have 5% of the switches on the dimmer dispenser stage, it's growing quite a lot.
Yeah, it is only for the dimmer. Yeah, it's only for the dimmer. Yeah. I underline another point here. This solution permits also to reduce the cost of the installation respect to the traditional domotics, because just one device is connected, is digital, but the rest of the product remain traditional. So you reduce the cost of this installation. This is another example, for example, for the relay cabling. In this case, here is also more easy because I just need to substitute the relay traditional with the connected one. In this case, as normally in the traditional relay, you already have the neutral, so it's just a case of substitution. But you don't need to bring also the neutral because normally you already find it. So this is very, very easy modification of the system. Next. More easy is when we speak about the socket. This we have two cases. We have the modular architecture and the German architecture. This is the case of the modular one. I have a traditional socket and I want to have a connected one. I add our modular, our socket module for the connected socket. This module is put on the side, on the traditional socket, and it cut the phases. So you can do on and off, and here is the consumption. in case of
You can see the
Thermostat.
consumption on your application, how much power is consumed.
Exactly. And the last is the gateway. The gateway is very easy to install. It's possible to install where you want in the box. Our suggest is to install it near to the router, because for us it's more important to guarantee the Wi-Fi connection, because the ZB is not so important because it's a D mesh. So it means that every product is a repeater and transmitter. So don't care about the ZB cover signal. The only part is the Wi-Fi part. So we had to install the gateway near to the router and put the neutral phases. So give the power. So for the gateway, the installation is very, very easy. Next. So as you can understood, here we show how to install the product. The installation is very easy because the cabling is a traditional cabling. Just for the light switch, we have to remember to bring the neutral, but for the rest, the installation is similar, is the same of the traditional installation. Now arrive the moment of the configuration. In this case, the configuration is also more easy of the cabling. I show you why. What you have to do, you give the power to the apartment. At the beginning, when you give the power, all our connected device, the switch, the socket, the shutter, have a LED, and the LED is red. When it's red, means that the device is ready to work, have the power, and you can use it locally. So for example, you already can use it to switch on the light or to move the shutter, but the product don't speak together. If you want to create the network, the ZB network, it's very easy. You take the master switch that I remember is sold together with the gateway. You press it for 3 seconds, and all the products start to speak together and to the gateway. In few seconds, minutes, depend from the dimension of the apartment, all the LED of our connected wiring devices start to become green. When all the devices are green, means that the network is ready, the products are connected between them, and is done. You press again the master switch, you close the procedure for the association, and is ready. So as you can understand, the installation, the configuration of the system for the installer is just press a push button for 3 seconds, wait, and it's done.
So we can say, Marco, we can say that if you have to compare the traditional wiring devices and the smart with Netatmo solution, in time of installation, we need the few minutes necessary to configure, to auto-configure the system. Yeah. So probably 5-10 minutes maximum, and everything is self-configured.
Exactly. So for the installer, don't change the rules of the installation, and the configuration is just an action and very few minutes. So for the installer, don't change nothing, and he can give to the customer more value. Next. This step is an optional. So if you want to install a wireless switch, there is this step that also in this case is very easy. You just need to buy the switch, install it as see before, pressing for 3 seconds the master switch, so he enter in the network, and to associate the wireless switch to the two-way switch, to the shutter that you want to control, you just need to tap 3 times the product together, wait that the LED become blue and switch off, and it's ready. So you can press the wireless switch to control the dedicated device. We decided to have this procedure that is 3 tap in order to take all the installer and all the customer, also the customer installer that don't want to use the app. So without the app, you can do the installation, you can create the network, and you can also add the wireless switch. I remember anyway that it's possible to do this association also using the app. So you go in the app, you go in the wireless switch, and you decide which light you want to control. So it's possible both the solution. Next.
So the tap, 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 it means take the wireless switch and just knock tack,
Yeah,
tack,
you
tack,
take
3
one,
times.
you do
Perfect. Against the
wait, this work.
the switch that we want to associate.
Exactly,
Super.
exactly. And of course, you can also create a group. For example, you can take a wireless switch, do a tap, tap, tap on the first two-way switch to control it, and you can go on the second switch and do another tap, tap, tap. In this case, when you do on and off on the switch, you control 2 lights or 3 lights and so on. And the same for the shutter. So you can also create a group. So it is a switch that control a group of devices. This can be very interesting. For example, in the living room, if you have 3 shutters and you want to control the single switch to control all the shutters all together. Next.
I think that some of our customers will complain because it will be too easy to install it.
Yeah, exactly. And the last point is the configuration of the app. You have to download and configure the app. I remember that when we think of this app, we think the app not for installer, but before we think the app for the end user. So we have a wizard very easy that the user has to follow to install, to configure the app. It's not installation, it's a configuration of the app. But of course, the installer can do that. Just a few passages to show what the installer or the user had to do. Download the app, create our account. This account will be the same account for the connected wireless devices or also for the smarter. Then start saying new house. Next. Press for 3 seconds our master switch in order to open the procedure for the configuration. Then create all the room that you have in your house, so the living room, the bathroom, and so on. Next, you enter in the room and you press the physical push button to switch on the light, and when you do that, appear the device on the app. Next. So for example, you do a tap tap on the connected the socket and appear in the app the socket. Next, you need just to give to customize the socket, to say the naming of the socket and say if the socket is installed as a normal socket or to manage a light and so on. So you have to do this procedure for all the device inside your house. So you have to switch on all the lights in the house and press all the shutter in the house, appears step by step in the app, and when you do it for all the device, you press stop. Next, and the app is ready. So you are ready with your home page of your house, with all your room, and inside you have all the lights, all the shutter, and if you install also the smarter, also the temperature of the house and the apartment. The installation is done.
One example that we can give is, think a building with several apartments. It is done today. The contractor install the wiring devices with Netatmo, but the apartment is not sold yet. Maybe will be sold in 6 months. How will we manage this?
But for example, you can manage and say to the contractor, you can bring the cabling like a traditional system. Just when you have you saw the apartment, you can understood with the customer if they prefer traditional system or a smart system. And just at the end, you can.
Sorry, my question is like, today the contractor install the wiring device with Netatmo, but he doesn't want to configure the system. So
okay,
the end user by himself doing 6 months later when he's entering in the house? for example?
Allora, in this case, there are two ways. Allora, the installer arrive and install the product, and he create the network, because the create the network, as you see, it's easy, just 3 seconds, 1 minute, and it's done. So anyway, the installer left the apartment with the product installed, and the ZB network is ready. First way, he left the product as it, and when arrived the customer, he have the instruction sheet and explain that is a connected device, so he can download the app, and then using this wizard, he follow the wizard, and he can easily create his configuration. Of course, you need to have the internet in the house, or for example, this solution also at the beginning, without the customer, can do by the installer. In this case, the installer need to have a mobile router, okay, so a 4G router. It can do this installation also without the customer, install all the house, all the device, and then when it's finished, he can cancel his account from the apartment. So he's already pre-configured the interface of the app. When arrive the customer, is just need to start the procedure. When arrive to the first step, when he press the master switch, and so pass the gate to the our gateway, pass the Wi-Fi password, he arrive at the end. He jump off the procedure and arrive directly to the app ready. I don't know if I clarified I answered your question.
Yes. You've done perfectly. So it's something, because I'm sure that some as this question say yes, but if there's no the end user, it can be managed in 2 ways. So it's become very easy. It can be pre-configured and then transfer the configuration to the account of the end user when it's arriving, or can be done by end user by himself. That's both solutions are possible. That is not bad at all. Now, date of availability. One thing that we didn't highlight: when the product are installed, they work. So if I have the shutters, it works. If I have a light, it works. I don't have to do nothing. The switch, it works since the first moment that is connected. So we don't have the problem that we must configure the system to be able to switch on the lights. It works. The availability of our product is the following one. We have living now, modular, mean for the Italian standard, with the product with the neutral, available. As well, living light, available. The German solution for the round box will arrive soon. Soon it means September, October. And Classia, that is a complete new catalog, it will arrive the first month of 2021. So we will have it in 6 months. So we are very close to the launch of Smart Classia, or Classia with Netatmo. So everything is available. Catalog will be available in a couple of weeks, just finalizing the last version. And what I recommend to everyone is test the system. If you didn't do yet, Living Now and Living Light are available. So just contact us if you didn't take your starter kit to do the test, because there's nothing better to test by yourself, because who tests the system, it really like it, and is the best way to go and propose it to your customer, because when you install it one and you understand all the steps that we today show you, it become everything more clear and much more easy, even to replicate. Then, if you create a small panel and you want to go to your customer, it's something really easy because you can use telephone as a gateway or an additional wireless 4G gateway, and everywhere you can show how it works. The slides are finished. If there is anyone that has a question, me and Marco, we will like to reply to your question. So I see one question is iPlanner interface or driver to my home. Yes, we are working on this field, and you have to wait January 2021 to integrate Netatmo solution with my home. Then I see British standard exist in living now. Today not under discussion, but today not. Then,
Simone, it's better
yes.
to start from the first question, because there are other questions at the beginning. So,
yes.
okay, you already give the answer about when will be available Classia with Netatmo.
Yeah.
Then another question is living now plus with Netatmo is compatible with Valena. Yes, in general, all our connected wiring devices have the same technology, so they can work together without any problem. The gateway is the same, the product is the same. If you want, you can do a mix, as you prefer. Why you don't have a modular wireless? We have it. Simone, if you come back in the previous slide, when I show the modular architecture.
This one?
No, come back. When I presented two architecture, go, come back.
The two architectures, okay, are quite back before the examples. This one.
Okay, this is the modular architecture. As you can see in the bottom part, we have the wireless switch. If we spoke about modular architecture, we have two solutions. We have the same of German standard, so it is a surface two modules wireless switch. So you can, because if you want to add on the wall, on the glass, is possible. But we have also the one modules. In this case, as you understood, in terms of space, it's not easy. It's quite impossible to have in surface mounted. So we will have a flash mounted version. So for light, shutter, and also for the scenario, we have one modules, wireless switch, flash mounted. Then other question is, please add timer function. Yes, we know is a request that already coming from the market, and we will improve this function in September. So in September, we'll improve in the app the possibility to give a timer for the light. So when you do the switch on the light, you can say for how many times maintain the light on. Why the scenario are modular? Okay, I already give the answer. Also for the scenario, we have a modular wireless switch. When you will offset sunrise and offset, yes, also this request is already arrived on the market. And as underlined to you, we continue the good thing of the IoT solution is that we are in contact with the client that give suggest on the Apple or Android store, and we read every time which is the customer needs, and we answer. Also, this function is already on under test. So I hope that in 1-2 months will arrive the offset for the sunrise and sunset. What about the dimmer? we have the dimmer for both the standard German standard and modular standard. We have the dimmer. Just a difference in the European standard. We have just one device, that is switch and dimmer, so one device for both the function. In the modular version, have a two-way switch function, and dimmer in the same product is not easy. So we have the two-way switch connected, and we have the connected switch, switch dimmer. So we have it.
When is available the dimmer, Marco?
Allora, for example, for Italy is already available, and so if we consider your timing is compatible with the timing that you showed before.
Yes,
so it's already available.
I go back one slide to show as well the solution in the German standard. It should be here. Okay, dimmer switch is this one. We have shutter switch and dimmer / switch. With this item, you do both.
Yeah, if you go to slide after, you can see that we have the two-way switch and the dimmer switch.
We have mainly three items: two-way switch, dimmer, and shutter switch. That are the main three items used in the system. Then we have
solution for manage the fan coil radiator. At the moment, we don't have the solution. We are thinking about it. I know that probably this function will be available also in the integrated in the smarter. Probably it's too early to speak about this function, but we will come back, of course, on these topics.
Yeah.
Other question? Why not to disconnect also the neutral in the socket modules? Okay, clear. At the moment, the idea is to just manage on and off consumption and not use the socket module for socket, the module for socket to do security load. Because I know that when we speak about security load, for example, to heat the water and so on, you need to cut neutral and phases. This is not this product. Probably with this function in the future, we will do something dedicated, but this is just to manage the load, and so in this case, the phase is enough.
Yeah, that for the boiler usually is request as well 16 amp relay inside the product.
Okay, what about switch 16 amps? Yes. Allora, as said before, this is the offer for the connected wiring devices, but we will have on the market also other offer. For example, will arrive the connected cabinet. In this case, what you can do is this: if you need to manage light with low ampere, you can use the switch flash mounted that arrive to 2 amps. If you need to manage a light like this one for 16 amps, you will buy the light control DIN. So will be installed in the cabinet. In terms of cabling, is the same of this product, so the same cabling, the same solution is ZB and so on, but will permit to manage also higher ampere for the light. What about remote control over 3G, 4G? No issue. It's worked perfectly without any kind of problem. Also with 3G, you can able to check the status, use the app and control all the device also from the other part of the world. Is plan interface or driver to my home? I don't follow this part. I don't follow the my home solution. So at the moment, I don't think that there exists an interface or driver to manage and to mix this solution at the moment. British standard for living now? No, at the moment we don't have the British standard. We have we are thinking about it, but we have to check with country.
Yeah, about the air conditioning, I saw a question as well to control the splits. We are working on it through over the smarter thermostat. It's a future update, not far for sure. And I see another question about two-pole switch to open phase and neutral, but I think we already replied to this, correct? That is something that we are working on it. And Marco, do you see any other question?
Okay, I see. Okay, Norway say that is mandatory to cut a neutral. Okay, we will we record this suggest this feedback? Okay.
7x7 British back box. It's the supporting frame of the round box. It match the 7x7, but then we don't have the dedicated product for the British standard. So switched socket, the fuse switch, you know, the dedicated product. And the 7x14 as well, we don't have it. Then when a course of integrators of my home app system, this is very close. We think to do this through a webinar in maximum a month. So stay tuned, keep subscribed to our newsletter and you will receive information. Someone else asked how to download the presentation. Just contact us, me, Frederick, Giorgio, or Simina as well, because we can give you all the details. And for who in his team, as some people that cannot participate today, we can give you the link where you can see, they can see later the webinar, because we are recording the webinar. And there is two-way switch and double switch planned for Germany and Poland. Yes, we show the German catalog. That is this one. It's modular architecture, will be ready starting from September, October, and is switch and dimmer, because switch is two-way switch, of course. Two gang, one-way switch in Netatmo, Valena, or Celian. We are talking about BTicino. I guess yes, in Valena, Celian they are available. When will be able to set more alerts?
In September. In September, we improve the smart notification with new one.
So the application will receive new features, and
Exactly.
some the feature are exactly from who did this request. We had this feature thanks to the request done some months ago. Okay. There is any other question? No. Okay, we have another question. Dimmer switch is a dimmer, electronical switch. I asked for mechanical switch. In German standard, we have electronic. For mechanical, you have to use the Italian version. because it's dedicated with a relay inside. Fan coil, radiator, Netatmo, 3 fan speed, for example. This 3 fan speed, I put it together with the fan coils. It's a feature that it's under development. What about high power relay in modular version, not only DIN? In modular version, first of all, if we consider today light and shutters, okay, shutters, the power necessary is super low. For lights with the LED as well, the power requested is super low. So that's why 16 amp we have the micro module, correct me if I'm wrong, Marco, that is managing 16 amp. So
the micro module, no. The micro module, like the switch flash mounted, arrive to manage 2 amps. That,
sorry, socket module is 16.
Yeah, is okay. For the load, the socket module is 60 amps. But when we speak about the light, the micro module, the relay, and the two-way switch of the dimmer manage up to 2 amperes. Because normally the apartment with the introducing of the LED is not so requested and higher voltage. So we just have the dim version where you need to manage a very high voltage light.
Yeah, so socket module is the solution for 16 amp where is necessary. And about the DIN product,
or
because
the DIN product that will arrive in the cabinet, connected
exactly.
cabinet.
We will have all the product to control the lights. Of course, the push button will remain the same, but can be controlled from the cabinet. That is a quite big advantage. So you can choose where to install on the field, so in the boxes in the walls, or as well together, something or all inside the cabinet, because the system, the environment is exactly the same. So this, it will extend the possibility of the system.
Another request regarding the file controller radiator. No, we don't have a solution at the moment in Netatmo. Is under discussion. So we have to come back in the future to understand if we will do it. We will do it.
Is in the intermediate position function planned in the shutter switch as in the old ZigBee switch? The intermediate position function shutter.
I don't really.
No, maybe I understood. Probably is because I don't know if I'm right. The intermediate, it should be to stop, I guess. But when it start to go up, this is the shutter switch. You just push again and it stop. So it's the intermediate. Or you can push in the middle in this way. So it's like the intermediate. Of course, it's not like a mechanical switch with up and down. It's always in the same position because there are micro switch inside, but you have up, down, and stop as well.
And I remember that we can also manage the level. So using the voice and the up, we can also say to open the shutter at 20% and so on.
Yeah.
Other question?
Okay. Okay, I see that we are connected since almost 1 hour and 27 minutes. We explained a lot of things, and I'm very pleased because I saw a lot of participants and a lot of questions. That it means that the subject is really interesting. So we have another question. Can we send command to open 20% shutter? As Marco just say, yes, of course, it's possible.
By voice or with the app, you can open the shutter at the level that you want.
Yeah. Or you can create a scenario, correct?
Yes.
You set up a scenario with the shutter at 20% and you just activate this scenario. Okay, so I thank you everyone for the participation. I stress again the fact, try product, one gateway, couple of switches, couple of shutters, a dimmer, and try, because it's the best way to understand how it works the system and to really enjoy the system. And then we are available for your inquiry and to set up a business plan to implement in your country the wiring devices with Netatmo, because it's a big opportunity to increase the business for who are already selling the wiring devices, and for who maybe is concentrated today over the entry system. It's a good opportunity to increase the field where it's playing now, where it's having business now, because why sell a video door entry connected and not as well the rest of the environment connected to the same using the same system? Okay, so I thank you everyone. Thank you Marco for the participation, and remember to subscribe if you are not subscribed to the newsletter, to keep to be informed, because we are going to have other webinar. The next one will be for Classia. We talk about the wiring devices. Will be a shorter webinar, and then we will have other in the future, in the close future. Thank you everyone. Ciao Marco.
Bye bye. Ciao Simone. Bye bye.